Amidst ongoing negotiations to reach a trade pact, India with the United States, India has formally notified the World Trade Organization of its plans to impose retaliatory tariffs on the United States. And these products are specifically for steel and aluminium. This is in response to the tariffs that Washington levied. Remember, there was the Liberation Day tariffs, and since then, there have been duties that have been imposed on Indian steel and aluminium, something that New Delhi has countered, gone to the WTO. Now, the move could take effect as early as next month and could see New Delhi raising tariffs on a range of US origin products, aiming to recover about a little under $2 billion in duties. But what does this mean in terms of the trading relationship between the two sides? We get that answer from Rahul Ahluwalia, who's a founder director of Foundation for Economic Development and was formerly with the Niti Aayog. Well, Rahul, I want to ask you that you seem to be in the fast lane. What about the India-US trade talks? Are they also now going to be in the fast lane, or will this be a road bump?
Definitely a road bump, Gaurie. I think this is bad news. So far, I think the Indian strategy on trade negotiations has been quite smart. I've said it before on your show, I believe, that I think that we've been playing it very cleverly by not opposing Trump publicly, by not opposing the tariffs publicly. It seems to me that we are displeased with the US, I think for obvious reasons. The way the US has handled the India-Pakistan conflict recently has not been something that we're happy with. And it appears to me from the outside that these retaliatory tariffs are a response to the US behavior on geopolitics, not on tariffs, because on tariffs...
That it is the geopolitical factors that are having an impact on the trade ties right now, and that could also mean that the outlook may change as well.
Yeah, that's my reading of it, and honestly, like I said, it's bad news because I think the US is a very, very important trading and strategic partner for us, and ideally we would like to strike a bilateral trade deal with the US as quickly as possible. This is a big opportunity for India.
So it's a not so subtle messaging as far as New Delhi is concerned. Not so subtle messaging, given all that happened in this week itself. And also, do you think that this would derail talks? Because, you know, the Trump administration views relationships, all relationships, through the prism of trade, don't they? Economic relations are the gateway to everything else. Do you see the long talked about in the works trade pact getting impacted because of this move?
I hope it doesn't, right? So I think quite often in trade negotiations, parties take different steps, and hopefully this is just one of those steps that gets taken, which the US and India can shrug off. So the US and China have recently announced a semi-deal, even though China had levied substantial retaliatory tariffs against the US. So I'm hoping that this will not be a problem. I'm hoping this will be a road bump, as you mentioned, rather than a barrier.
So this could be, of course, trade barriers being talked about. This will go all the way to the WTO. But for the benefit of our viewers, let's understand WTO is a consensus-led body. It's not like some major actions can be taken by the WTO. Its dispute resolution mechanism has also been broken down for the last 5 years, at least before COVID. So at least in the last couple of years, dispute resolution hasn't really progressed. In the backdrop of that, what do you think, Rahul, the government is really trying to achieve here? Of course, you're trying to protect your industry. Yeah. That's what whole duties concept is all about. But do you think there's a larger message here, as you are saying? And what is the kind of objective it's looking to achieve?
Yeah, that's a very astute question, Gaurie, and I think it is very much a signaling move, hopefully, rather than an actual attempt to impose duties. So you're very right. The WTO mechanism has not been particularly effective for the last many years now. The US itself has contributed to the breaking down of the WTO multilateral mechanism. And any action being taken via the WTO is hopefully just a signal that India is displeased. India does not appreciate the way the US has sort of behaved in the recent conflict. And I think it would be great if both sides leave it at that and continue to negotiate a bilateral treaty that is beneficial to both parties.
All right, let's leave it there, Rahul. Thanks much for joining us on a story that has many legs. One being economy, the other being the political messaging that is there. All of that, of course, weaving into the India-US relationship. It's strong, it's robust. Trade ties are strong, they are being discussed. But what happens in the wake of these measures that have been taken? This could just be signaling by India, but it may have an impact on trade talks that are ongoing.